you've clicked on this video, there's something in your life probably that you had in mind and you want to leave behind, or something you simply just want to accept. Something that drains your time and energy and is so emotionally taxing that it's causing you to be so distracted because you're anxious about the past, about something that's already happened. Maybe you could have changed it, maybe you could have done something better, but no. That's what we're going to talk about here. We're going to talk about how I and how you can never regret anything, never have zero regrets in life. And there's two main topics that are going to help you implement this. Now, the first one starts with a quote, but the second one is the most important and the mindset that you need to accept into your life. So keep watching. The first one is the quote, "Hindsight is 20/20." My dad recently told me that quote about 4 months ago, and it's changed my perspective on life forever. Hindsight is 20/20. Let's think about that a little bit. I mean, 20/20 vision, obviously, that means you have perfect vision. I think that just means where you can see 20 feet away, then you can actually read that thing 20 feet away. But like, if someone needed like 20 feet, you needed like 10 feet. So like you had to be a lot closer up to see it. Essentially, that's kind of what it's derived from, to my understanding. But what it means is that you already had all the current information in the present moment. And so you just made the best decision. Maybe you asked out a girl. That's what I did recently. And I got friend zoned. And it sucks 100%. But looking back on it, I did what I thought was right. And sure, it makes things awkward, but I can't regret my past self. Because in order to have self-acceptance for the person who you are today, in order to love yourself today, you need to accept the events that shaped you into who you are now. Think about that a little bit. In order to truly love yourself, you need to accept the events that made you into who you are. And in accepting that event, what happened is that I understand that it was just a learning experience. Nothing went wrong. It was what happened. See, there's no really right or wrong. It's how we view it. And which leads me to my next point. First one is acceptance. Understanding hindsight is 20/20. And you made the best decision. You said the thing you thought was right. You did what you did in the heat of the moment with all the emotions you were feeling. That pinpoint location that you made in the past, it's happened. And it happened because there were so many present factors in that current moment. And that all led towards that one decision. And of course, looking back on it now, it may seem outrageous, it may seem stupid, and it could be. But you can't get mad at yourself for something that you did. And so once you accept it, that is the neutral state of no longer worrying about something in the past. And once you accept it, here is how you look positively upon something. The next step I'm going to say. It's adopting the mindset that everything in life is working in your favor. And this can be very dark. Your mind often wanders to extreme situations, like maybe like my mom had cancer. And that's horrible. Why would you want to think that to be a good thing? And it's very hard, of course. It's a very hard exercise to do, which is why you need to start out with smaller things. So let me just use it on a smaller example in order to highlight its effects. So we've all got rejected from a club, an extracurricular sports team, not making varsity or whatnot. And we may think that's horrible. We may look up on the past and be like, my life would have been so much better if X would have happened. But if you adopt the mindset that everything in your life, everything that happens to you is working towards your favor, then you become happy when something doesn't go your way, because you're like, oh, your mind starts shifting. It's a paradigm shift of how you view things that happen to you. Oh, I didn't make varsity. That could have potentially taken up too much time. I could have injured myself, blah, blah, blah. I can't worry about this anymore because it already happened. So now my mind has adjusted to adapted to being like, yeah, you know what? That is not the main path for me. That it just wasn't meant to be. And you accept and you view it differently. And that allows you to move forward because you're happy. I'm like, hey, I didn't make varsity. There are other things greater for me in my life that potentially could have hindered. It could have slowed me down without me even realizing it. And you could tie this into religion, like all part of God's plan. And you could if you want to, but you don't necessarily have to. But what I want you to do regardless is start viewing a couple events that you've been thinking a lot about recently. Whether it's like me being friend zoned, or it's you with whatever you have going on in your life. Accept and reframe your thinking. Accept and reframe your thinking. That all happened in the past, because remember the quote, hindsight is 20/20. 20/20. Everything seems so simpler and easier when you're looking at it from the present back into the past. And you'd be like, how was I so stupid? Because in order to be stupid, you had to gain some new knowledge. See, the only stupid person is a person who never asks and never learns. But the fact you think you're stupid means you've learned something and you're growing. And that is the best thing we can take away from learning from the past so we don't repeat the future. And when you accept, that allows you to change your mindset and have a more positive paradigm on how you view things and how they will propel you into your future. So thank you for this video. I hope you picked up something. Make sure to like and comment. Peace.